welcome. This is going to be a little bit of a different video than I normally do. It's just going to be me right here talking the entire time. This is going to be basically a trip update video. We're going to talk about some behind the scenes stuff that I've been dealing with while I've been in Spokane, Coeur d'Alene, and Sandpoint, and then where this trip is going over the next couple weeks. Now that's a weird thing for me to say because I only upload videos once a week, and so these videos don't really happen in real time. This video won't be uploaded for about a week and a half, and so most of what I'm about to talk about will have already happened. Now, I don't plan to film anything between here and Glacier National Park, which I won't be there for a few more days. But I have been struggling with the route between here and Glacier National Park, as well as the route beyond Glacier National Park and some of the timing of it. It's been difficult to get reservations at Glacier and Yellowstone. But what happened was a week ago, I was looking at things to do in Montana. And of course, one of the top things was to go to hot springs, which is something I have never done and want to do. Now, many of the top rated hot springs are somewhat on the route between here and Glacier National Park, which of course is not the route that I intended to take, which was to continue north to Bonner's Ferry and then cut across to the Kootenai National Forest and then continuing on to Glacier National Park. So it is Wednesday, and my first reservation at Glacier National Park isn't until Saturday. So I could go through the Kootenai National Forest and also hit up one of the hot springs along the way. I could also do the hot springs after I go through Glacier National Park if I'm feeling rushed. However, doing it after Glacier National Park will cause me to have to backtrack quite a bit. The other thing is that at least for the next day, I need to maintain decent cell service. And I did look at the Verizon map, and it looks like there is some coverage to the Kootenai National Forest if I stay on the main highways. The reason why I need decent cell service has to do with reservations at Yellowstone. Which, let's talk about reservations at Glacier and also Yellowstone. Now, of course, they're both very popular national parks, and so getting campground reservations is difficult. But both parks do hold some of the campgrounds, and they'll release them for reservations sometimes day in advance, 4 days in advance, or even a week in advance. But of course, you have to be ready to go on the day that they release those reservations at 7 o'clock in the morning. Now, that's how I actually managed to get one of my reservations at Glacier National Park. I was ready to go at 7 o'clock in the morning, and right when that hit, I clicked on the campsite that I wanted. By the time I had got through the checkout process, all of the 5 campsites that they had released had been reserved. Mind you, it's only 7:04 a.m., right? And I tried to do that actually this morning with Yellowstone. Now, they weren't releasing that many campsites this morning. And so I tried to click on the campsite that I wanted, and it was right at 7 o'clock. And I got a warning message that said, this campsite is already reserved, or it looked like it was going through the booking process. Tomorrow, they're going to release a few more, quite a bit more campsites. And so I'm going to try again tomorrow to get a campsite at Yellowstone. Of course, this is where the timing comes in, right? It's hard for me to predict when I'm going to be at Glacier, when I'm going to be at Yellowstone. So I kind of just have to set a hard time, right? And that hard time originally was going to be for me to be in Yellowstone on the 4th of July weekend, which I figured that's not going to happen. Like, I don't want to be there during the 4th of July weekend. That's just going to be crazy. So I was looking at the 5th through the 7th of July. And even then, very hard to get. So I'll try again tomorrow. And then if that doesn't work out, there's a couple other options. I could go the next week. Seems like there's a little bit more opening at Yellowstone. Or I guess I could go to one of the campgrounds outside of the park. It seems like they also have a little bit more reservation. Now, obviously that's going to require a little bit of traveling to go in and out of the park to see things like Old Faithful, but Yellowstone is a large national park. And so even from some of the campgrounds to a popular space like a popular site like Old Faithful, I mean, you could be looking at an hour's drive. So that's basically what we're looking at for the trip. So before we wrap up this video, it was brought to my attention that a couple of the videos that I posted, there was large sections that had just audio and no video. It was just a blank screen. I'm going to look into that and see what happened. And then I possibly will re-upload those videos. So be on the lookout for that. And with that, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And I want to thank you for watching.